welcome to this sixth and final episode of What It's Like to Be an Equestrian in Norway series. So there's going to be two questions that I'm going to answer. So the first question I got quite a while back was how we keep the horses in winter, like what we do about hay and shavings and stuff. And this came from the UK. From what I've seen from the UK, most people have their horses on grass most of the year and just supplement with hay. They don't really have much hay storage. I might be wrong, but that's what I've seen. And I've seen people that have like 2 hay bales, and that brings me into a panic because in Norway, if you have 2 hay bales, you're in trouble. Most barns in Norway are either old farms or are built in the same style. So there's always a huge hayloft, and so people store hay in haylofts, huge haylofts, and also we feed and produce a lot of haylage because the summers here are very unpredictable, so it's hard to dry the hay properly before you pack it into bales. So the haylage is wet, but it's different from what they feed like cows and other livestock, and they come in huge white eggs is what we call them, or balls. It's common to like call them tractor eggs, and it's not like we have to buy all our hay before the winter, because some places, if you live out in the countryside, you have probably other farmers that you buy from, and they either store it or you store it yourself, and then they deliver to you throughout the winter. So it's not like you get like 10 bales. It's in tons. Yeah, and in Oslo and like bigger cities, there are often like companies that deliver hay to the barns, and of course it's expensive. It's more expensive than buying directly from the farmers, but sometimes it's also easier in terms of being sure you can have the delivery. We don't have grass normally during autumn, winter and spring, just like very early autumn and very late spring. So horses are always on dirt or sand paddocks, except in summer when it's common to have the horses on grass, and you might have to drive the horses away from their regular barn because we don't have the areas to have them graze there. Some have, some don't have, depends on your situation, whether you live in a city or on the countryside. Yeah, so that was the first question. The second question I got was about the cost of horses in Norway. So if you've seen the previous video number 5 about competitions and cost, I mentioned that a lower level competition horse in Norway is usually from 100,000 Norwegian kroner. The conversion and everything is in that video, and yeah, that is the prices. If you want a warm blood / any type of riding horse, that's the price you have to pay. Is it worth it? No. How does the prices get so high? When you ask these questions in like Facebook groups and stuff, the breeders go up in storm and they say that, oh, it's so expensive to breed horses in Norway, and we want all our costs covered when we sell the horse. Now, the thing is, I'm not sure how much it costs to get like import semen or semen for a warm blood in Norway. I assume it's slightly more expensive, but like cold-blooded trotters and sanderbred have also very, very good stallions that they inseminate with or import semen with, and I assume that's almost as expensive. But you can find like a 2-year-old of a standardbred or a cold-blooded trotter for maybe 15,000, 20, depending on the breeding. Some of them are like 45,000, but still it's like miles away from 100,000 for a warm blood foal. So I usually say that the warm bloods eat gold grass or something like that, because that's the only explanation. And horses can be imported to Norway. The thing is, we're not in the European Union, which means that we get a 25% import tax on the price. Now, magically enough, some horses over double in price when they come into Norway. I saw a pony for sale in Sweden for 30,000 Swedish kroner, and a month later it was for sale in Norway. Hadn't done a lot with it, and it was 80,000. So inflation, I don't know. I think it's the market. It's too small. There's too little horses, and therefore the people that sell horses can just decide to take whatever they want, and if you don't want to pay it, someone else will. So I might see I've changed the camera angle and my hair is a bit flat because I've been to the barn between this previous question and this question, because I got one while I was there, so I wanted to answer that as well. So I got a question about the administration system and the bureaucracy surrounding competing in Norway, and if I knew why it was like that. And I'm not gonna say that this is like 100% fact, but this is what I have heard. So take it with like a little bit of skepticism, but like this is why I heard. Like, she asks what are the benefits to the riders and the organization that are running the bureaucracy. So let's start with the horse registration came about, I think, because passports became mandatory for horses in Europe, and you had to have a passport with like identity and vaccinations and stuff like that in, and therefore they made the registration mandatory so that they could connect all the results for that horse throughout all the owners that had it, because they now had like a safe identification system. So that's because of that. The green card, I know it was implemented because of safety issues, basically. Before the green card came into being, people just needed a vaccination card on their horses, and they had to be a member of a riding club. And the riding clubs in Norway is like, it's not like you have to physically go there or take lessons there or anything like that. It's just an organization that you enter into, and you can go there and you can take part in like competitions. But they didn't have the ability to make sure that the members that they had that went out to shows other places had the knowledge to go to a show, both in terms of riding ability and be able to behave properly in a warm-up situation, knowing all the different ways they judge, like jumping, show jumping, for example. Yeah, so it was implemented as like a safety system so that people would have a certain standard of riding and they would know all the rules. Like the bureaucracy and the reason why it's not allowed to have competitions that are not affiliated with the Norwegian Riders Association, it's all about safety for the riders and safety for the animals, because they have to adhere to their standards. And if I know, like in other countries, people start like 8 or 9 classes a day, and that wouldn't be allowed here. And that's basically because of say, like the stand care for the animals and the horses. I suppose the benefits for the riders is that they know that all the competitions are held to a certain standard, and all the competitions venues has to have a judge, a steward, and like a course designer, builder in jumping, and it has to adhere to a lot of rules, and therefore it's safe for you to go there. Yeah, so that's the benefit for the riders, and the benefit for the organization is all the riders register to them, so then they become a bigger part of the Norwegian sports association, which means they can have more funding because the bigger sports get more funding. So yeah, that's basically it, I think. I hope this made some sense. So that was the question part of this video. Now in this second half, I thought I would talk about some fun language misunderstandings that I myself has experienced. First off, if you meet a Norwegian and this Norwegian person is not completely like horse English savvy, and they might tell you they have a warm blood, you don't know what breed they have. Because in Norway, we have the Norwegian warm blood, which is the same as like Danish warm blood or the Dutch warm blood, and etc. etc. It's a warm blood. But the standard bred, the trotter in Norway, is called a warm blood trotter. So yeah, there could be some confusion there, and there is, even in Norway, because people put in sales ads, they put just warm blood, and you have to like, I don't know what this actually is, unless they have like, the picture is very, very clear that it's a warm blood trotter, i.e. a standard bred. So yeah, that's kind of funny. So just as you know, if you meet a Norwegian person and they say they have a warm blood, maybe you should ask what type of warm blood they have. The second thing which happened to me was when I started on YouTube and when I started watching American YouTubers. It was the first time I heard someone say, I'm writing English. And I was like, but your style doesn't really look like the way the English write. I mean, not that they have like a specific style, but like yours is very specific and it doesn't look anything like the way the English people write. Yeah. And then someone was like, yeah, I write in English tack. And I was like, but that saddle is from France. I know that. Because in Norway, it is not common to use this expression. I'd never heard it before. And I've been in the equestrian community for my whole life. I've known people that do the Western and they didn't use it. They might use it with their own Western riding friends, but like there's so few of them in Norway. So first time I heard it was like on YouTube, and then I asked one of my friends that do Western, and she was like, yeah, we use that, but it's not common in Norway. In Norway, you would say, like, if you want to separate yourself from like Western people, you probably say I do normal riding, or you say you are a show jumper or a dressage rider, or if you do everything, you say I'm an all-round rider. We don't use that expression, and I was hugely confused when I first heard it. So that was it for this video. I hope you all enjoy the series. I hope you learned something. I hope it was informative, and I hope it was slightly fun and not boring. I want people to know about the cultural differences that exist even inside the equestrian communities across the world, and I think I managed to do that. Also, I want to do more series on my channel, so if you have any suggestions on series I could do, then please leave them in the comment section here, and also comment any video ideas you want to see, or like any type of videos, anything like that. I'm open to suggestions right now, so bring it on. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!